Hey guys, welcome to my new YouTube channel. I'm just gonna give you an idea of what I'm doing with these videos, and I'm gonna explain who Tom is, so you know what kind of person I am. Anyway, I'm basically going to start this YouTube channel to explain my experiences and talk about my experiences and how I solve or have a solution for these problems. It seems like if it can happen to me, it happens. That's been my life, though. It's been that way ever since I was born. It's not that I have bad energy. I have really good energy, and I've been told that by several massage therapists over the years. I've been probably 3 or 4 people tell me that I've got good energy. So just so you know, with these videos, I am not going to do any fancy editing. I'm going to just shoot the video, and we're going to deal with the issues like the dog digging in his crate, a dog drinking water, a dog barking, a dog chewing on a bone. It's going to be an interactive video. So I'm not going to do any fancy editing. I'm not going to have any fancy thumbnails. You can either watch my videos, and if you don't like them, don't watch them. This is purely entertainment and how I will handle certain things on the things that come up, because it's just crazy what happens to me. I mean, it's absolutely crazy, which I'm fine with. I've just dealt with it all my life, so I've gotten used to it. But first and foremost, I need to see how many times I use in this video. To start out with, I was born and raised in a rural community in Wyoming. I was raised by 2 parents, a mom and a dad, that were high school sweethearts. So when my mom had passed away in 2017, my parents had been married for 57 years. So did they have a perfect relationship? No, but I don't know what marriage has a perfect relationship, especially when you get married outside of, right outside of when you graduate from high school. I don't know who's, you don't even experienced the world because you've lived in a rural community and only experienced what that rural community has to offer. So it was very interesting. My parents were very nurturing. I had a really good relationship with my mom. My dad, I had a good relationship up until he started using drugs, and I was ashamed of him. I wasn't happy that he was doing this because kids were making fun of my dad. And I think people should know that I was bullied through my whole grades, except for maybe my senior year through school. And I didn't tell my parents. I didn't think it needed to be told, because when you get your parents involved in something that's going on at school, the teacher should be protecting and stopping it instead of my parents. So I just wanted to get through my grades of school and be done with it. I wasn't thinking of suicide. I wasn't thinking of anything. I just let it happen. I dealt with it when it happened. A lot of the people that were bullying me, I tried to be friends with, and that seemed to help the situation because I got bullied less. But going back to my parents and being raised, my dad was very nurturing when I was younger, and he taught me a lot of things early on. I mean, we're talking 4, 5, and 6, where I learned a lot. Very nurturing. I was driving a motorcycle when I was 4. I was driving a car when I was 5. We lived on about 8 acres in town, and so we had a big, huge pasture we could play in, ride motorcycles, and then we had a cabin in the Bighorn Mountains. And my dad got the cabin, when my parents bought the cabin, I think I was 9 maybe. I think it was 8 or 9. And so, and they had it for 35 years. So we always went to the cabin, so I would get to learn to drive in the mountains. I got to ride my motorcycle up in the backcountry. So a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that I know how to ride a motorcycle. I know how to drive a tractor. I know how to move dirt with a tractor. I know how to mow a lawn with a zero-turn lawnmower. My dad taught me a lot. And I just remember one incident when he was teaching me Well, I already knew how to ride a motorcycle. It's just I couldn't reach the ground. So what my dad would do is, my dad was 6'4", so he's a tall guy. And so he would, and it was Honda 90 that I was riding. So he would sit on the back part of it, and I'd be on the front, and he would just basically just stand up and let the motorcycle go, because I couldn't even reach down where the body was, couldn't even reach to the ground, period. So he would just let me go, and then I would ride around all around our property, and when I was done, I'd just go around the house beeping the horn, so he would come out, and then I'd go slow down to almost a stop, and he'd grab the motorcycle, and I'd get off, and he'd put it motorcycle on the kickstand, and that was the way I learned how to ride a motorcycle. Now, when I learned to drive a car, that was when I was 5, and we used to have to stack the big, thick phone books behind me so I could reach the pedals, because I was sitting all the way forward so I could reach the pedals. So yeah, so that, my dad, like I said, was very nurturing. My mom was very nurturing. I had a great relationship with my mom, but like I said, when my dad started smoking pot, it changed, because like I said, I had kids in school making fun of, your dad smokes pot, and it's like, well, how do you know that? I mean, obviously your parents have been talking. So, and it was fine. I mean, I had to deal with that. It was just kind of being ashamed. And so it turned to everybody thinking I didn't like my dad. And it wasn't that I didn't like my dad. It was just, he treated me differently, because I was very confrontational when he would be smoking pot in the house, and he never smoked it in front of me, but he went in the bathroom. And I'm sorry, but marijuana has a certain smell to it, and he would mask over it with Lysol and all this other stuff. And I used to remember running through the house is on fire, the house is on fire. Now mind you, my mom used to smoke cigarettes, but there's a distinct smell between cigarette smoke and marijuana. I'm sorry. And that's why I'm so sensitive to it in living in California, because it's legal. And it doesn't bother me that other people are smoking pot, but it was not a good thing with my dad. And that's one of the reasons why we didn't get along. We didn't see eye to eye in a lot of things. I think a lot of it too was my dad was jealous, because I did what I wanted to do in life. I didn't worry about what other people thought, and I've always lived my life that way. And when you live your life that way, it's really, really good. But and like I said, my parents they taught me what love was. There was a lot of love, but later on, and as I got older, my parents started drinking. They hanging out with the drinking crowd, and wasn't that they drank all the time. They drank on the weekends, and it was social drinking, what I see. Did they have a problem? I don't think so. I think they just wanted to have fun, and they thought they could only drink around these people because they were drinkers. The people they were hanging out with were drinkers. So then you got the drinking, the drugs. My mom never did drugs. As far as marijuana or stuff like that, she didn't like it, that my dad used it. They were partying. They had a lot of parties, a lot of people partying, they had a basement with a nice bar and music system and entertainment system and pool table and all that other stuff. So, and I did play pool too. That's another thing that people don't know that I did. And I was raised in a family, we had grandparents. I had 2 sets of grandparents, and I was very close to both sets of my grandparents. Although Grandpa Ed died when I was at age 10, so I didn't really get to experience a lot, but I got to experience Grandma Eula after he died. And, people don't know this, but my grandmother had a big garden. She had a compost pile. We had apple tree, cherry tree, chokecherry tree, all different types of trees, had a huge garden, and my grandmother would she'd can green beans, corn, all the different beets. She'd do pickles. She'd do, she canned everything. I mean, we always went down to Grandma's house to get the corn that was canned that we were going to have with our meal, or the green beans. And my dad was a hunter. He would go out and hunt elk, deer, moose, And he was also a butcher, so he would butcher, so I was exposed to that. And that's how we ate. That's how we got our meat. And that's what I was raised on, is elk, moose, and deer. Not necessarily deer was kind of the last option, but it was usually elk and moose. And, I got good food, and we always had good meals. My mom was a really good cook, very good cook. And, to have two sets of grandparents like I wanted to go back to. Grandma and Grandpa Williamson were good. I learned a lot from them. My grandma and grandpa Heinzen, Ray and Betty Heinzen, God, Ray Heinzen, incredible man, the most kind, giving, nurturing man. I learned a lot from that guy too. They were so good. Grandma and Grandpa Heinzen were so good to me, and I learned a lot from them. And it's good to have at least one set of grandparents in your life. And that's what I think a lot of kids miss out, is their grandparents don't really want to be grandparents, and they never really wanted to be parents, but I'm saying what's going on now. And so when you have that influence of your grandparents, it's just, like I said, I probably wouldn't be the person I am today. And I had a lot of good people in my life that wanted to nurture me. I worked for Jess Black, who was very nurturing to me. And we got in a few arguments, and, he'd get mad and throw things around, get upset, and we always worked through it. But he was very nurturing. He taught me a lot. I learned a lot from him, and that's a good thing. I had a lot of good, and I had a few teachers early on that were really good, that were nurturing and were really good teachers, and I really liked them. A couple of the teachers that I can recall that were really good to me was Lynette Wyatt was good. And Lynette Murray, she was my 7th grade teacher. And I just remember her being so kind and nice to me. And Toby Strand, my 2nd grade teacher, 2nd or 3rd, was really good. But, living in a rural area, it's really an interesting thing. It's living in a small town, and everybody knows your business. And if you get in a car accident outside of town, it makes it back that you were in a car accident before you do. So, but I just wanted to get out of there. I just didn't, I had some good friends, and I hung out with the girls a lot. And, I did have a few guy friends growing up. And I was defended by a lot of the people with the bullying part of it. But, I never once thought about committing suicide at all. I didn't think about any of that. I just wanted to get the hell out of that small town. And I did. I moved out here in California, and I've been out here for 36, 37 years, and I've lived in this same place in Laguna Niguel for going on 29 years. It'll be 29 years in March of next year. Hard to believe. Time sure flies. And I like California. I like where I live. I like California. I don't have a problem. The news just tells a lot of stuff, bad stuff that's going on, and not the good stuff. And I like it here. I mean, I don't know anywhere else I'd want to live. The weather, the people, there's a lot of good people in California. And there's just so much to do. I mean, within 2 hours, you can be at the desert, the mountains, or the beach. I mean, I'm 5 minutes from the beach, but as far as the desert, I'm 2 hours from the beach, or 2 hours from the desert. But anyway, yeah, that's just, I've lived here. I worked, I lived up in central Orange County for a while, and then when I moved down here, I've lived in Laguna Niguel the longest of any place in California. And I just like it here. I mean, and these videos that I'm going to be doing is just about my experiences. And not necessarily are they going to be positive experiences. I'm going to try to make them positive. I'm going to try to laugh and carry on about it, because some of this stuff that happens to me is just, it just doesn't happen to most normal people. And I'm okay with it. Like I said, this is my life. If it can happen to me, it'll happen. So I've had friends want me to start, they call it the show. one old friend that I haven't really had any conversations with lately, but Mary Wells is the one that says, when are you going to start this show? She goes, just all this stuff. She goes, it's not funny, but it is funny in a way because it always seems to happen to you. She says, you need to start a show. So this, Mary Wells, is my show that I'm starting on YouTube, and it's just going to be different videos on different situations that happen. And I don't really care if you like the videos. If you don't like the videos, don't watch it. I'm not doing this to make money off of. If I do make money off it, great. But it's not, I have my own business with taking care of dogs. You know, I'm perfectly fine with that, and I'm doing fine with it. And it's just interesting. I'm going to start doing my artwork. As you guys know, I did some artwork for my client, Sonia, which she really, really liked. And she thought I bought them somewhere else or bought them. And I said, no, I made those because I have them on my wall here in my house. And I wanted to buy some kind of artwork for the walls up there, but they were just too huge and I didn't want to spend any money. So I ended up making my stuff. But that's the way I am. I'm very, very flexible, very easy, you know. The one key thing is, you know, I have a small circle of friends. I've limited friends in the last 3 or 4 years. I've been ending friendships because, and it all is about respect. If you're not going to respect me, you're going to be disrespectful to me. I'm not going to put up with it. I'll just walk away. I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. And you don't have to change for me. That's what people don't understand, is they think that I'm trying to get them to change. No, no, no. I'm just setting boundaries. If you're not going to respect me, we don't have a friendship. My thing is I respect myself. I respect myself very much. I've always respected myself, just like I love myself. I might have a big tummy, and I'm trying to get rid of it, and I make comments about my big tummy, but I'm still secure. I'm still okay with Tom. I'm still okay with the tummy. I just want to get rid of it, and I've tried everything to try to get rid of it, and it's still there. So that being said, you know, there's a lot of people that it takes a lot to be a friend to me. And one of the biggest things is respect and not trying to change me. I've had friends, well, a couple of years ago, I have friends that want to try to change me. They want me to act a little phony. They want me to be a person I'm not. And it's just like, whether I'm in California, Tennessee, Hawaii,
Voice call from Plymouth.
and no matter where I'm at, I'm Tom. I tell it like it is. I don't sugarcoat it. If you want to be sugarcoat, go eat it, own it. That's the way I've been all my life. And people take offense to the truth. And they think I'm a jerk, I'm not this, I'm arrogant, I'm a cocky. No, it's not. I'm just secure. I'm telling you that those pants don't look good on you. And it's not that I'm a jerk, and that's the biggest thing with rescue. You know, being in rescue and being in, you know, dog training and doing that kind of stuff, I tell it like it is. If you're doing something wrong, I'm going to tell you. If you're not, you know, and it's not, I'm not trying to be hurtful or anything. Stop being so sensitive. And that's the whole thing. When people ask me questions and I tell them something, they get, you know, they're like, oh, Tom, no, I'm not a jerk. I'm not a jerk. I am the most giving, selfless person, but I'm going to take care of Tom first. And then I'll help you if I can. But in order for me to help somebody, I have to take care of me. And I realized that after I started the rescue, because I was taking care of all these dogs and I wasn't taking care of Tom's well-being, and it got me in trouble. And I won't go back. I won't go back and ever do that again. I got to make sure Tom's taken care of before I can take care of anybody else. And so when somebody asks me a question, know that you're going to get you're going to get the straight shot with me. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to do anything. And everybody's like, well, your delivery, you're still being sensitive. If you don't want the answer, don't ask me. So, or, you know, don't want me to answer the question. That's the whole thing. And I'm not trying to be, this channel's not going to be bitter. I'm not bitter about anything. I'm just telling you how I handled the situation, what happened to me. That's the big thing, is how could this, you can't make this stuff up. So that's what I'm telling, you know, if you want to make a comment, if you make a nasty negative comment, I'm not even going to respond. I'm just going to act like you're not there. I don't need the attention, okay? So I don't need you to make a comment. And a lot of people that make comments are just trying to get attention. Sometimes, you know, it's just bull is what they're saying. So this is who Tom is. If you want to watch me and listen to my videos, subscribe, like my videos, make a comment. Just know if it's a nasty comment, I probably won't even respond. I won't even pay attention to it. We all have opinions, and you can tell me how you want to tell me an opinion, but if we can just agree to disagree. So if I don't answer your comments, just know you probably draw the line where I'm either going to answer them or not. So anyway, I hope you do watch my videos. I hope you like, you subscribe, and enjoy my content. And if you don't have to watch it. So that's the way I look at things. It's no big deal to me. I'm not going to sit here and kiss everybody's butt on YouTube to try to get like and subscribes, because like I said, I don't, you know, if you want to watch it. That's my thing. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.